You're on.
Hey guys, it's Carrie from Stamp with CT. And with me in the craft room is Oliver the Crafty Pup and Dale the Crafty Husband.
Hello.
And the technical difficulties of Facebook. Always have to love those technical difficulties, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
They keep us on our toes.
They do keep us on our toes, but they are not going to keep us off of Facebook Live. It's not going to happen. So, it looks like things are kind of zoomed in. What do you think, Dee?
Yeah.
Okay. We are having trouble with the way that it's showing. There's the volume. We're having some trouble with the way that it's showing the screen. And I don't know what is happening, but we're trying something different. It seems to be a little bit more zoomed in now. So, help us figure this out. If you are here, let us know that you are here. Looks like Becca is here. Looks like Mary is here. We are so glad you're here. Sorry to be a little bit late, but we're just struggling with some settings and stuff with Facebook Live. Hey, Cassandra. Glad y'all are here tonight. Thanks for your patience with us. We have got, I think, some really fun projects to make tonight. There's Debbie. Hello, hello. Thank y'all very much for commenting. That lets us know that things are working. And it seems like Dale's phone is working as far as picking up comments. So that's
at the moment.
Good. At the moment, yes. Yes. So we have had trouble with Facebook showing like too big of an angle, weird angles and just weirdness. So I tried going in a different way and now it's kind of zoomed in more than what we're used to. But we're going to be heat embossing tonight. So thanks Facebook for zooming in because we could kind of use that, right?
And we could use a zoom. So
we are using, for Finally Friday, free online class here the 2nd of August, 2024. We are using the Mediterranean Blooms products. And what page are they on, Dee?
They're on page 34 and 35. So
it seems that people either love this paper or not.
They don't.
Yes. It's one or the other. There's not really many people that are in between. I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous. But people that I love don't love it, and that's okay too. So that's why there's so many papers.
But you love it because it brings back memories.
It does. We got to travel to Italy many years ago now. What, 33, 34 years ago? And so we've seen the beautiful blue tiles and the lemon trees. I don't remember seeing orange trees over there when we went to Naples, but I've seen this beautiful tiles and it does bring back lots of memories. And I was telling Cheryl today, maybe someday I'll scrapbook some of those memories. Hello, Karen. So we'll see, but I think it's beautiful. Some people, not so much. That's okay. There's lots of different papers in our catalogs and our online exclusives. So hopefully you guys all love this paper. We feel like heat embossing the sentiments just adds even an extra touch to the project. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight, focusing on. So let me get this out of the way. We'll show the components to the suite and what we're using.
Okay.
I haven't changed host codes just in case you need that. It's still the same as last month.
Pull this down a little bit.
Okay.
All right. We'll start with the citrus blooms stamp set.
And if you'll kind of hold it, Dee, where it doesn't have quite as much of a glare, it's kind of hard to do that with the lighting, but you will notice that the sentiments in this stamp set have really fine lines. They're very detailed sentiments. And so what I love about this new embossing powder that we're going to be showing you tonight is that it really is nice, fine quality embossing powder. It makes those sentiments, which sometimes you can't even really heat emboss certain images because they're just such fine lines. But you're going to see this is going to look really pretty. If you love to color, there's some images in the stamp set.
Oh, bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back because it coordinates with
the dies.
And there's even a couple dies that coordinate with the designer series paper. So those that don't enjoy fussy cutting, not going to mention any names.
No one among us, right?
If you don't, okay.
Zoom doesn't give you much workspace.
No, it really doesn't, but it's okay. We'll work with it. We were bound and determined. We were going live tonight. We were going to do Finally Friday class. But anyway.
So I'm taking these away.
Take those away. So some of the dies do also coordinate with the designer series paper.
And for our sentiment pieces?
Yes, we are using those to stamp our sentiments on. Love that Nested Essentials dies. They really are good to have on hand, so that's what we're using. And then
the star of the show.
That beautiful, well, there's lots of stars of this show. Beautiful designer series paper.
This one has the lemons and the oranges on it. It's got the blues on the back with the white background.
Yeah, you may want to show it one way and then flip it over and do the.
Let's do and then
see what you think.
The blooms, the oranges, the lemons, and then the oranges again in different amounts, and then now we should have one more with lemons on it. Okay. Now we're going to see if we can get through this pack with the B sides, the blue and white tiles, different blue and white tile, a little bit more muted blue and white tile, a really neat, makes me think of Granny's kitchen, you know?
Oh, does it?
Yeah. And then the little check pattern.
Well, they're all like different, what do you call that? The sizes and the variant of the sizes of the tiles. I like that. I like that she did that. Donna is here as well. Hello, Donna.
All right.
We're hurting Cassandra's ears talking about fussy cutting.
Oh.
So beautiful paper, I think. And then we went ahead and pulled in one of the online exclusive ribbons. It's a 3/8 inch frayed ribbon that we're going to use tonight just as a little accent. There are some really cute opal rounds that go with this suite of products, and they have been quite elusive with this new catalog. So, okay, you want to show first project, Dale?
First project.
We're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. We're just going to kind of jump into the projects and put them together, and then we're going to emboss at the end. So we're going to show you about that heat embossing.
Can you see the shine on the embossed sentiment? Because this is a pretty small sentiment.
Yeah, give me just a second, Dee. Let me refresh here and see what kind of view they are getting. So, or you guys can let us know if you can see the shine. Maybe kind of twist it back and forth just a little bit, so that might help.
I know that. How about there? There, is that any?
Yeah, I think you can. I think so.
I know that the iridescent stars.
They're picking up.
Yeah,
but we've got our sentiment heat emboss. So we're keeping it simple with this first project. We do have a Daffodil Delight card base we're going to use. We've got all our components just tucked inside our card base.
Okay.
So we'll get organized here.
And we got our inside piece.
I'm going to go ahead and do that first.
Yep.
Okay.
She's oh, sorry.
Okay. Cassandra can see it.
So we're going to put the innard in.
The innard? Yeah, the innard.
Is that not what we call it?
It is what we call it.
Not a lot, right?
Yep.
Because I don't want to get in trouble.
So we helped Cassandra with her parents' anniversary card and did some embossing, and it's kind of ignited our passion for embossing again, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
That's one of the neatest techniques, I think, that I learned when I first started card making. I feel like a rock star.
Oh, yeah. All right. And then, you know.
Cassandra likes that DSP on the card base. It makes it really stand out, she said. So we've got the Daffodil Delight, and of course we're pulling the colors from the DSP to put our layers in our card base. So Stampin' Up makes it so easy to coordinate everything. So we've got just a small bit of
I
garden green that's showing.
I don't believe that's a directional
No, I don't think
image.
so.
So, because I got blooms going every which direction on these.
Mm-hmm.
So and then put that layer on. Try not to squeeze it too much.
Donna said, "You are a rock star." We feel like rock stars sometimes, don't we?
No,
We're making cards.
The products make it easy.
Yeah, they really do.
So,
So,
and having good tools and having a good plan.
yes.
All right.
Okay, so now we have a sentiment already embossed because we're going to emboss with you at the end so that we don't have to keep turning the heat tool off and on. And you know, embossing can be a little bit messy. We really feel like we've got it down to a science, to an art. And so we're going to show you all of our tips and tricks, aren't we?
We're going to try. Let me put this down here, see if I can get this straight.
Karen likes the colors too. I'm telling you, I love this paper. So we just embossed this on a piece, a little scrap of garden green. And I know that some of you like to measure everything, and that is just fine. But we are eyeballing, trimming this sentiment down.
What?
I know. It makes some people nervous, but take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. We're just trimming it down a little bit. Now, you could emboss on a die cut piece, which we're going to do in a little bit. What you don't usually want to do is die cut something that has been embossed because it can kind of dull the embossing.
Or because it breaks it up
Mm-hmm.
and it makes this shine.
So you do all that work and then it kind of takes it
put a
away.
little crop on it?
If you want to do that, that is perfectly fine.
So this is my Finally Friday. I get to do what I want.
Okay.
No.
No. You can do what you want, though. That was a good idea. I like having a little angle to it.
Okay. And
then I just took a little strip of the ribbon.
Okay.
And a little bit of my Stampin' Seal Plus.
Okay.
And I just, you know, put maybe, what, not even half an inch, 1/4 inch little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus to tack that ribbon down. For cracking Karen up. Yeah, the comedy show is just a bonus, right? You get card making and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Dale's going rogue. All the planning.
All the preparation out the window.
But hey, it's Friday. We're excited.
Right.
I do have to work for a couple hours tomorrow, but it's still Friday. It's still the weekend. What happened?
I missed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, didn't get my cut quite
Okay.
the way I wanted it to. Okay.
Karen said the best combo.
Alright, now let's see if I can put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this to give it a little pop.
You want to see what I did? I used the bones because where I placed it on the ribbon. So, totally up to you, but I only have bones at the top.
Okay, well I got it, I kind of centered it.
Okay.
So, we'll give it a try.
Okay.
We'll cut
And
off.
again, this is a super simple card, but the paper is just really, really pretty. And then embossing the sentiment makes it special. You could certainly put some other little layers, strips underneath the sentiment, but we just wanted to show you a sweet and simple card with the embossing. It doesn't have to be super fancy when you emboss. Got it?
Yeah, a couple of gems on it.
Yeah. So those are the iridescent faceted gems, and I really like them. They are very shiny. My favorite.
They are very shiny.
They're very shiny.
They pick up the colors
around them.
Yeah.
They do.
Works.
And of course, you could color them with your Stampin' Blends if you want to. We could have put some orange or green on them, but I just like the way it kind of pulls the color behind it and around it. So remember, with the Finally Friday free online class, of course you are welcome to come and watch us create and see the projects, but you can also get a kit to make these cards yourself. And so with a $40 order in our online store before tax and shipping, you get all the supplies to make 6 cards, because we're making 2 of each design in this class. If you place a $50 order with the host code, then you also get an embellishment as well. If you're part of our Super Inspired Stampers team, it's just $20, because you can buy all of your own supplies and use your discount. Ready to make number 2?
Yep.
Okay.
Having trouble reaching it.
Yeah, if they could only see our setup, right? We've got stuff all over the place. We did get a new rug for the craft room we're so excited about, too.
If we'd left the angle just a little different, y'all would have probably been able to see the rug. Our laps, all over the table.
All right, you got, yeah, right. You got the next card there for us,
card here.
Okay, so look how pretty that sentiment is on that card. I love that. I think it just really jumps off the card. And that's a small sentiment, but it looks beautiful embossed. So we'll go ahead and work on this project next. Got all our pieces already cut.
Okay.
And of course, we're going to start with that inside panel, D.
Okay. Well, let me work on this just a moment. All right.
Oh, Debbie loves the second card. Yeah, we couldn't really decide. I designed the one with the green and yellow, and the other 2 have more of the blue. But we just went with it. We just went with it. I thought about doing 3 cards that had more of a blue color combo, the blue and white, but we let the green and yellow to the party as well. But if you like the second card, my favorite's the third. So we'll see. But I like this paper so much, so. All right, get that inside panel done.
Okay. Got it.
Becca says she loves the blue. This is Night
I
of
was gonna
Navy
say,
that we're working with.
You got the paper switched.
No. I did not.
Y'all help me out here.
Y'all are silly.
All right.
Okay.
Now let's get this.
I really like the.
I really like this DSP,
Oh yeah.
but of course, you always end up making me.
That's when I say you're welcome.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I can say this from experience. Don't say you really don't like something until you've tried it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because we start out with a couple of these that we have like a sheet in each package that we normally say, nah, not too crazy about that.
Yeah.
Then when you finally end up using it, you're like, why did
That's
I say
my
that?
favorite.
Yeah.
Now you could pop this up. This piece in the center here is our 3x4 piece of designer series paper. That's one of the sizes I love to cut designer series paper down to. And you could pop up that piece that's matted if you want to. You don't have to though. I didn't on my sample.
I like
Just gonna
popping
glue
up
it
the-
down.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna glue it down. I like the popping up the sentiment, I think.
That is the job, Karen.
What's it? What job is that?
Showing people how much they need crafting supplies.
Yeah, they do. Okay.
Mary's not found a DSP she doesn't like.
Oh, that's.
I'm a paper person. I love the paper. And even the smell of the paper. There's something about when you open that new pack of paper. Oh my goodness.
Oh, why don't you get started on me or not?
Okay. I can do that.
Uh,
I say I can. There we go. Yeah, I'm kind of just sitting over here watching comments, just letting you do everything, huh?
that's okay. How about with the DSP the way it is? How about we bring this over here?
Okay,
You okay with
that's
that?
fine. Yeah, that's fine. I did kind of fill in a little gap that didn't have the lemons when I put mine over here, so I like the way you're thinking.
And then you just kind of even that up.
Mm-hmm. Cassandra, I want you to love all the paper. Show all the paper the love.
And then what did you put it on with?
A glue dot. Did I get some out?
Not seeing any.
Okay. Let me get some.
All right. This ribbon has a pretty neat feel to it, huh?
Uh-huh. It's the it's 3/8 inch frayed ribbon, and it's an online exclusive. And I think we ordered some. I think maybe Cassandra was the winner of that couple bingo events ago. And when I ordered it and got it in for her for the prizes that she ultimately won, I fell in love with it. So I had to order me a bolt.
Hmm.
Yeah, Donna says the bright fruit plays well with the background. I think so too. Sandra says make Dale work. He needs to. He gets fired a lot in bingo, but you've not ever been even threatened to be fired on Finally Friday, have
Well,
you?
I was never fired on mystery stamping.
You weren't?
Uh-uh.
Mystery bingo?
No. When we did the
Oh, mystery stamping.
this or that,
Yes. So look, I just think the sentiment looks so lovely.
it does.
I really like that. And it's a small sentiment. We're going to show you some tips and tricks on that as well. So that is project number 2. Do we want to put some bling on there? I don't think I did
You didn't.
on my sample, but I don't see
Sure.
why we can't. If you want to.
Oh, we know we want to. We'll put a couple of the small ones on there.
Oh, Cassandra's talking about the special coming up. There's going to be, starting the 6th of, what are we in? August. Starting the 6th of August through the end of the month, there's certain designer series papers from the annual catalog that will be 15% off. And you know, I didn't look at that before tonight to see if this is one of the papers. That would be lovely if it is. Isn't it?
How about that?
I think it's so pretty. I love it. Okay.
All right.
All right, now we're going to work on card number 3. And like I said, this is my fave. I'll see what you guys think.
Okay.
But we'll let Dale show you that one a little bit closer. And then we'll start working on that.
That's
What?
neat.
I was really happy with that one.
All right. Let's get going.
Okay.
Where's my stamped sentiment piece?
We're going to make one in just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and emboss it. But we're going to get this card put together. And then we're really going to have some fun talking about embossing, because I know it's one of your favorite techniques, isn't it?
I do like embossing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Years ago, when Tara crafted with us a lot, she was like the embossing queen.
That's not the word I would use. She was a little bit harsh sometimes.
She could be harsh about embossing because she is a perfectionist, and we know some of our other friends here tonight are perfectionists. Nothing wrong with that. So if you're going to be a perfectionist when you're embossing, it's important to know a lot of the tips and tricks with it. So
she didn't leave much room for the carefree spirit. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
But embossing kind of lends itself to that. You know what I'm saying?
It's just, it's a beautiful technique. Yes, that was cut with the die, Cassandra. The fruit for this, that's one that does line up with the designer series paper. I miss Tara too. You know, that girl got married and she doesn't craft with us anymore. She did ditch us, didn't she? I think our job, that was what our job was though. To, you know.
But that's harsh, isn't it?
Raise her up and then let her fly. She comes to visit some, not enough.
She's got a lot going on. I do like this paper. This blue background paper.
Well, Cassandra confirmed that Mediterranean Blooms is on the sale. Yay! I'm so excited.
All right. I wish we'd have planned it that way.
That would have been great if we had the inside scoop from Stampin' Up ahead of time. Wouldn't that be lovely?
I wish they'd tell us about this stuff. All right. Go ahead and put this down.
Yeah,
right?
we can
and then
go
we're
ahead and
pop up both like you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. What they're not going to like in just a moment is when we get out the embossing gun and we start embossing, and it makes a little bit of racket.
Yeah, but we've got a plan for that.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Should we go
You
ahead
got some dimensionals over there?
Yeah, I got a few. Should we go ahead and try to put this on?
You can. I put it on after I situated my, yeah, let's go ahead and put it on. We can kind of tuck things around. We can move it if we need to.
Right.
And then that way we can get that stuff out of the way and put our paper down to protect our work surface. Thank you, Cassandra, for that info. Alrighty.
Hold on just a minute.
So, embossing powder had been out of stock for a little bit because we were switching to a new vendor. And we are now featuring the Wow embossing powder. And it is amazing. I have seen a side-by-side comparison, which I felt like our embossing powder before was really superior.
It was superior to what
to a lot of others that we've used. But this Wow embossing powder, it's called Wow for a reason, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Pretty cool.
Let's see. Maybe I got this in a good spot.
Okay.
Okay. We'll set this aside for a moment. Now let's talk about some of the tools for embossing.
Okay. Let's do it. First up is let's talk about the embossing powder.
Okay.
We've got new embossing powder, and it's called the Wow embossing powder. It comes in 2 different sets. We have both sets here to show you. There is a metallic, which has gold, silver, and copper. And then there's also a basic, which has white, black, and clear. So you can take those out if you want to, Dale. So I know it's going to be a little bit rattly, but you can kind of show.
They're not going to like that.
That's okay. Do it quickly, like tearing a Band-Aid off.
I'm trying.
So you can see that it comes in the little jar. Now you can leave your powder in your jar. You definitely want it in an airtight container. That's not what we do, but you definitely can leave it in the jar, and that would be great.
Okay.
You can use a coffee filter, when you're putting your powder on to catch it so you can put it back in the jar. Or there's a whole set of tools that Stampin' Up! Has called the Embossing Essentials. You want to talk about those a little bit, Dee?
All right. One of the things is back is the embossing buddy.
Mm-hmm. A powder tool, anti-static powder tool.
Another thing that you get is the brush.
Okay.
And to help,
that comes in handy.
That comes in very handy. And then also I like the tweezers that you call them reverse tweezers.
Those are not reverse tweezers though, are they?
No, well,
no, I don't think so. No.
But like normally on tweezers, when you squeeze them together, they get tighter, and these, when you squeeze them together, it opens them up, and then when you release them,
True. I guess they are reverse tweezers.
So,
okay.
And then if you can see on the tip of our tweezers here, where we've embossed a little bit, we've got a little bit of embossing powder left over from something else.
Okay. That's okay though.
Yeah, it needs an embellishment too.
Did you talk about the tray a little bit?
Did not talk about the tray.
Okay.
The tray that comes with this, you can put your embossing powder in here, or
well, you would hold your item over it, put your embossing powder on. That tray catches everything, and then it has a little funnel. You want to show that?
Yep. The funnel. Take the lid off.
Mm-hmm. And you can put your embossing powder back in your jar. What's great is it doesn't stick to this, so you are able to conserve your embossing powder. And embossing powder goes a long way, you guys. We're going to show you in just a minute how we keep our embossing powder.
Okay.
And it's just what we've done for several years now. We've got it in some Gladware containers.
Here we go.
And I just took my labeler and went ahead and labeled each of them. So I have 6 containers for all the different embossing powders. And then we just put the embossing powder in here and have a spoon in there as well. In full transparency, this is 2 bottles of the embossing powder that I've got in here. Tonight we're going to be using the white and the clear. So we use a technique where we like to emboss with a color. It can be white, it can be gold, whatever color you want to use. And then we put clear over that once we have heated it up. So while it's still warm from embossing and melting the powder of the white, we're going to add the clear powder and then emboss again for just a minute. And what that does is helps to make it shiny. We love shiny.
Helps give it a little depth.
It does. It helps give it almost like a 3D look. The sentiments and stamps that we're using tonight, like we talked about, they're thin lines. But when you do this with bold text or bold images and you put that clear over it, you can tell a huge difference. So we're going to show you that technique tonight.
And sometimes we do a couple of layers of clear.
Mm-hmm. We do.
What we have found, though, is if you do the white on top of the white, the strays kind of stick to the paper and it looks like it's got a snowy pattern in the background.
True. Yes, you can add several layers of that color, and gold is probably the worst one that if you...
But it looks so good when you stack it up.
It does, but by stacking with the clear, you don't end up with the stray. So you do that first layer of gold or silver, and then you add the clear. So yes, I agree. You can do it with just keep using the same color, but we tend to see more strays that way. And we're using dark cardstock tonight. And that probably is one of the harder ones to emboss on.
But it's good to practice on.
Yes. Okay, what else have we got over there, Dale? I think there's
well, there's this heat gun over here.
Okay.
And my
Heat
glasses.
tool in your glasses. Okay.
'Cause
So
I'm gonna have to be able to see here in a minute.
okay, our Stampin' Up! Heat tool. Will a blow dryer work when
No.
you're heat embossing?
No.
I've also used some heat tools that did not get hot enough, and so it doesn't melt the powder like you want it to. Our Stampin' Up! Heat tool is really good. There are some other ones out there, of course, that are awesome, but I like that the Stampin' Up! Heat tool has 2 settings. It has a low and a high, so your low is great if you just need to dry something, like we're going to be doing a watercolor class in a week or so, and we're going to be drying our paper some with the heat tool, but you want to set it on setting number 2 on the high setting when you're embossing. All right. What else, Steve? Protect our work surface.
Yep.
You could use copy paper. You could use newspaper. We're going to put some grid paper down, and we want to protect our work surface. I am not a huge fan of making a mess when I craft. I never have been. So I like to put the grid paper down and kind of keep things contained.
Oh.
Show them that other thing that we bring from the kitchen that helps with embossing too.
Well,
This
we have a couple of little tricks. The kitchen stuff would be the toothpick, the plastic spoon. From the bathroom, we bring our Q-tips.
Yes.
And we have an old piercing tool.
Yes.
So you can use your, take your pick.
You can.
And and if you get embossing powder stuck on it, and it, like this one right here, and it doesn't all come off,
you might not be very happy. So that's why we use an old piercing tool for that. There's also some Swiffer dusters over there, Dale. These are your best friend when you're embossing because it will show you some things we do with it. It helps you clean up the mess when you're done. It also helps you clean up when you're using a dark cardstock because we're going to be putting that powder on our cardstock to help get down the static, keep those strays from happening. But it leaves a little powder on your sentiment, and so we'll use the Swiffer to get that off.
So go ahead and
let's
powder these up.
get started. So he's going to go ahead and use the powder tool, and I've seen people do this lots of different ways, but you can either tap or brush across it. You want to completely cover the front of that. You probably want to...
That's the back.
That's the back. You probably want to get your piercing mat, D.
Okay.
Where'd I put it? Back
Right
here.
behind us.
And put those on the piercing mat and then do that again. Okay?
Okay.
Because if you pick them up, you get the oils from your skin, from your hands.
Okay.
Cassandra loves the kitchen tools.
All right. Now.
So what else? We've got something else we haven't talked about.
We got these Versamark.
Versamark ink. Okay. This is a watermark ink, and it's sticky. So it holds on to your embossing powder that you put out.
Oh, that's a well-loved stamp pad right there.
I think I have another one over there.
Okay.
Here, let's show the difference.
All right.
So, a couple things you can do with Versamark. We'll air our dirty laundry, huh? Look at the difference in those ink pads, y'all. This one works just fine. It does. It doesn't matter.
When you love your stamp pads, you use them.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't matter if it's discolored. It doesn't matter if it looks a little dirty. They both work just fine. You can re-ink these just like you can our classic ink pads. And this Versamark, you can use it a couple different ways. You can use it as a watermark, so like a tone on tone. If we wanted to stamp that fruit stamp onto a piece of yellow cardstock, we could. And then you just let it dry, and then you've kind of got a little background there. What else can you do with it?
Well, that's if you're doing you stamp that image with the white, emboss it, and then color it in. Makes it shine.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So if you stamped it,
stamp it and emboss
and heat
it,
emboss it, and then do like a emboss resist is what that's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's called emboss resist. So it almost gives you a border on your stamp because that's raised above the cardstock to keep you in the lines.
Yeah.
So you could watercolor that. You could use your blends. The other thing we use Versamark for is when you buy a photopolymer stamp set or you get one in your paper pumpkin kit, if you've ever struggled with it not stamping and giving you a good crisp image, there can be some residual from the manufacturing process. That's the word. And so you want to clean those photopolymer stamps. And then one of the ways that you can kind of, condition it, Dale, pre-treat it.
Pre-treat it, condition it. Yeah.
Is you could go ahead and ink it up with Versamark before you put it in the color that you want to stamp with. And that just seems to somehow break that stamp in. It makes you much more successful.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to go ahead and stamp. Are you ready?
Right, we're ready to stamp. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp these, and then we're going to put the white embossing powder on them.
Okay.
And then when we get ready to heat set, well, I'm going to clean them up. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, we'll just walk you through the process, and we've got some extra pieces cut. If we need to do this a couple times, you guys can let us know, and we'll be glad to do that a couple of times for you. I see we've got some comments coming in, so.
Okay.
Okay. Karen says she's learning a lot. Good.
And then, so now I'm just stamping these on, and you don't want to leave your stamps out without covering them because they will dry.
What do you mean your stamps?
When you stamp the image with the Versamark, if you don't cover it, I'm gonna say relatively quickly.
You've got a little bit of time to work, but yeah, you do want to put your powder on.
And then we'll get our powder.
Come over to the center so we make sure. There you go.
Let me cover my Versamark pad up so I don't. I'm gonna get powder all over everything, so y'all bear with me on this one. Put plenty of powder on it. Well cover the image. Tap it off. I'm gonna use the brush because I can see these strays right here.
Okay, give us just a minute. Yeah. So we talked about this earlier, Dale. We said that when you are, he's putting his glasses on. It's getting serious, y'all. When you're embossing, you need to use some patience.
Yes, take your time.
It takes some practice. Just like any technique to get good at it. So you'll notice Dale he put plenty of embossing powder on it, and then he's just working to make sure it has really good coverage over.
Okay, we're going to be done with white, so I'm going to put.
Slow down. We're fine.
Okay.
Okay. So he has made sure that all the strays are off. Here's where.
No, hanging all the strays off yet. I'm working on that.
We'll do that over your white embossing powder container.
All right. Take this.
You make me nervous.
Take this piercing mat.
Okay. Yeah, we can't heat set on the piercing mat, so we do want to get that out of the way. If you can't tell, we do things a little bit differently, y'all.
Okay. Let's try this again. All right.
So you've stamped it. You've covered your Versamark really well with the powder.
And
right?
Where I touched it, the oil of my hand made the embossing powder stick in a couple of different places. And let's see if I can get this tweezer on here in a spot where it's not. And then you can use the brush to kind of brush those pieces off. Because if you don't get them off, this is one of those things that Tara was pretty adamant about. She wanted clean, clear images.
Yes. But this is your chance to get those off. You can use the Q-tip. You can use the brush. You can use a toothpick, whatever you want to.
I'm going to set this one down. We'll bring the other one up here and let them see that.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can, I'm going to take the toothpick here and I'm going to see if I can point out on these little specks of white. I don't know if you can see them. And like in between these words in here, that's where the toothpick comes in as you kind of rub them to get them loose. You don't want to touch in there.
Yeah, only where you don't want it.
And the toothpick allows you to get real close and get things loosened up. And then once you get it all loosened up, and if you have places in between, the toothpick or the take your pick tool or the piercing tool will allow you to be very precise about how you're doing all that and
Okay.
help clean everything up. I probably
Because Sandra says she can see. What?
okay. I've probably overdone that, huh?
I don't know.
Not for Tara. Tara would have said, nope. You want to make sure that you get as much of that off as you can.
So when we are mass producing and we're making duplicates, what we do is this step, and then we just kind of line them up and we heat them all at the same time. So once you get everything cleaned up the way that you want it, now is a great time to get rid of that white embossing powder, isn't it?
Yep. Okay.
Okay,
All
so we'll
closed
set
up.
that aside. Now we're going to open up our clear embossing powder.
Okay.
Let me get the spoon out for that.
All right, I'm gonna move this stuff over here so that you can set it right there with you.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is Dale's going to turn the heat tool on. One of the things you want to be careful about is making sure you're not heating over your container with your embossing powder, because you'll melt it in the container as well. Any tips as far as how you approach actually melting the powder, Dee?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this. Let me turn this around.
Okay.
But I'm gonna hold the where my finger's at. I'm gonna hold the heat gun off to the edge of it, and I'm gonna let the air blow onto the paper below everything, and I'm gonna let it just kind of warm up the paper and all, and warm up the embossing powder, and then it starts to melt. And it looks, what I call it is it gets the watery look. And I'm hoping that if y'all will put your fingers in your ears when I'm doing this.
Well, we're going to let them know so they can turn their volume down if they need to.
And I'm hoping that you will be able to see it turn watery, and as it goes across, I'm going to start from one side and move over to the other side. I'm not just going to move all around and all around and all around. So that's kind of gives you an idea of what I'm about to do. And then
And same thing with that smaller piece. You'll use your tools. What if they don't have a tweezer? What's a way that they can...
You can also put it on your silicone craft sheet, hold it down
With your piercing tool?
with your piercing tool or your take your pick, and do the same thing when it's laying down flat. Hold the heat tool off to the side, and then just kind of work your way across real slow and easy. Okay?
Yeah, because Sandra says we love when it starts melting. We're going to hold this fairly close to the camera as he's working. So what you're going to see is Dale is going to turn the heat tool on. He's going to let it warm up. It takes a couple seconds, doesn't it?
Yes, it
Going to
does.
put it on the second setting, and he's going to warm it up. We'll tell you, I'll give you a thumbs up like this before he turns it on, so if you want to turn your volume down, you can, because it's going to get kind of loud. You're going to watch him melt the embossing powder, and then he's going to bring it over. I'll put the clear on for him, and we'll do that a couple of times, and then he'll melt the clear embossing powder. We'll move over to the other sentiment, and then I'll give you a thumbs up again when it's time to turn your volume back up. Okay, are we ready?
Ready to roll.
All right, here we go.
You ready to give them a thumbs up?
Okay.
Flip your spoon.
Okay, turn her volume back up. Cassandra said the white got bright, so I love that she could see that.
Okay.
Love it. Okay.
Now I'm going to take the Swiffer.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of clean up, rub these down a little bit. Clean them up.
I do both sides too.
They might not know this, but we got some embossing powder on the paper.
Yes. It is a process that makes a little bit of a mess, but it is so worth it. So look at how nice that looks. And that's the piece we're going to be able to add to our project. Now, let us know if we need to do another sentiment or two, or if that helps you to kind of understand the process. This is not something we typically do in stamp class because, you know, it is something you need to take your time. You have that project,
I do have a project. Let's bring it back, and they may not remember what it looked like. Okay.
Okay.
Can you tie me a bow?
I can if you'll check comments right quick.
Uh-oh. Donna says she's going to break out the heat tool.
Good. Awesome.
Karen says, wow, mind blown with clear and Swiffer.
Mm-hmm. Couple little tricks of the trade, right?
Yep.
So a lot of it is just taking your time.
Well,
having some patience.
Having a plan, being prepared.
Yes.
Not shooting from the hip. Y'all take all the fun out of crafting.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm.
We are usually planners and preparers. They don't know that when we were prepping for this, we ended up with embossing powder all over the floor, all over the table. But we've got Ruby, our little robot vacuum. I was surprised at how much of that she was able to clean up. You got it?
Yeah, I'm having a...
You know, we hope we've inspired you to get out your heat tool. And hopefully you've learned a new tip or two. Because heat embossing is just such a really amazing technique to do and to add to your projects.
It gives you a lot of wow.
It does.
And the wow embossing powder will help.
Mm-hmm.
But let me get the tails lined up.
And don't forget, you've got copper, gold, and silver in the metallics, and then you've got white, black, and clear
Let me have that.
in the basics. What?
They're going to have to bear with me. I don't have my glasses on now.
Okay. It's fine. We're with friends. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we forgot to cover. I think we got everything. All right.
Well,
and as you're practicing your embossing, if you need any help, let us know. We love that you'll have this video that you can refer to as far as what technique we use. And we've been embossing for a long time, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
It's really pretty when you get to your holiday projects to emboss sentiments and all for your holiday projects. Okay, let us know if we can help you in any way. We hope you enjoyed the class tonight. We appreciate you being here. Dale's bringing in the other cards.
We didn't put any bling on.
Oh, yeah, let's put some bling on that last one, too. Donna said, beautiful cards.
Okay.
Karen said, thank you. Thank y'all for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. Mary learned so much. Good. We're an awesome team, Mary said.
Well, the main thing is just get your tools out, practice, enjoy the crafting. Hopefully you get a chance to craft with some friends and share your passion.
Nope, Cassandra says she wants a class, so we will get one prepped for you. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie.
Kind of mix them all up.
That's okay. I like it. All right. Well, thanks so much, you guys. We'll tell you kind of a little insider information for September, what we plan to do. So we as demonstrators are able to see the new holiday catalog. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to do some type of Halloween projects. And a lot of times we do treat holders, don't we?
Yeah.
Treat holders, kind of a mixture of treat holders and cards, because treat holders are good to have for Halloween. So that's what our theme of Finally Friday will be for September. We are not going to have a stamp class in September.
What?
Because we will be married 40 years the weekend of stamp class. So I have made an executive decision that we are going to take the weekend off. And we're not going to have stamp class. But we're going to have lots of stamping opportunities in September because we have a new holiday catalog that will launch to customers. And we're going to have our usual launch party of the new catalog and our after party. And we're going to have a bingo in September, online bingo. So we're just not going to do stamp class in September. So if you're looking to make some treats or cards for Halloween, you're going to want to check out Finally Friday next month, because that's what the theme will be. And I hadn't really announced that yet, so you guys are the first to know. You're first in the know.
Okay.
All right. Well, we will see you guys soon. We really appreciate y'all being here tonight, and hope you enjoyed it. Oops. And we just pulled the heat tool off on Oliver. Bless Oliver's little heart. That scared him.
Yes, it is. It's scary when you have a heat tool launched at you.
Y'all take